Ooh. Okay, this spot isn't going to work at all. So, openings. I've no idea. Ugh. Oh, that's not good. This angle is doing nothing for me. Okay, that seems to be working. Give this a go, I guess. Okay, it's windy. It's windy outside. Alright, so if it's not clear, oh god. I don't need that. Okay. It's so weird. Yeah, yes, I need to lose some weight. It's so weird talking to a camera because I've never done that. And I promised myself, like, I guess for like the last 2 years, I was gonna like make a video of some kind. So now I am, and it's weird. It's so weird because no one's there, but people are gonna be there at some point in the future when I'm done, assuming I finish this. So, where do we begin? Okay, name. You probably know my name, Liz, I guess. It's weird seeing myself on video. Cameras are like... It's weird. Okay. So the whole point of this, the reason I'm doing a video, apart from the fact that I've wanted to do one for at least 2 years, but never. I meant to do one last year, but I just didn't get around to it. The biggest reason I'm doing it now is that I set a goal for myself to dress up at least once a month, every month for this year. And it is January the 31st, and I haven't done it yet. For lots of reasons. Mostly laziness, I guess. I mean, I was sick for a while, but mostly laziness. Let's go with that. And so I don't really have much of a plan for what this is supposed to be. You know what's weird? I keep looking at oh god, pow. I keep looking at myself on the video when I should be looking at you. Right? That's hard. Okay, so I don't really have a plan. So I asked some people if they had any like questions for me to answer, because that'd give this whole thing some structure. So, question number 1. Someone asked, do you have any tips on voice and not sounding like a man? No. I don't really bother. Mostly because when I do dress up, I dress up around people who I already know. And they don't really expect me to have a different voice. To be fair, I don't expect me to have a different voice. It just doesn't feel right to me. I mean, some people will choose a different, maybe like more feminine voice, but I have no idea how to do that. I mean, I guess I do find that I'm a little bit more quiet. I should explain. Actually, this is interesting. Maybe it's not interesting. You may have noticed I don't have an American accent. I don't know how many people thought maybe I would have an American accent. I'm not actually from America. I'm actually from the UK originally, but I moved over here a while ago. I say a lot. Oh, that's kind of weird. I don't know how people deal with the whole hair and mouth thing. Not great. What was I saying? Voices, yeah. Yeah, I don't really know. I guess, you can try and, kind of soften a little bit, maybe speak a little bit quieter, which I think I do anyway, just because I'm kind of, even now, as much as I've gone out dressed, still kind of nervous about being around strangers for the most part. People I know, they don't care, they're always fine. But yeah, I guess being a little bit quieter. I don't want to get into that whole American accent thing right now. So any tips on voice? I mean, apart from being a little bit quieter, not really, and I find I mostly am a little bit quiet just because I'm a little bit nervous still. So I guess that's question number 1. Question number 2. I need to get my nails done. It's bad. How do you equate men's clothing and shoe sizes? And how do you select a bra? Okay. I mean, the shoe thing isn't too difficult. Usually when you look at sizing charts, they say, men's 10, women's 12. That seems to work pretty well. Most places will have a sizing chart. There's almost always some kind of, sizing chart with both women's and men's on. It can get a little bit trickier. I mean, definitely, shoe sizes, like all sizing, is just lies for the most part. I definitely have some shoes where like a women's 12 fits pretty well, or where it's kind of loose. I guess I have kind of like wider feet, so I tend to get a 12 because that hurts less. But I should probably be getting like an 11 wide, but I don't. Yeah, I do tend to put insoles in. I wonder how long we both can record for. I'm just going to keep recording and see what happens. So yeah, like men's clothing and shoe sizes. Yeah, shoe sizing, you look for like the... no. Yeah, voices. No time for voices. Oh, God. What was I saying? Shoe sizing, most time you can find like an equivalency chart. I guess that's it. How do you select a bra? I was basically lucky enough that my wife's band size, at least, was the same as mine. I think, I tried on one of hers and it fit, so I was like, alright, that seems to work. So that's my size now. How do you select a bra? I don't know, I generally go for full coverage, just because the forms, so the form, it isn't like, yeah, there we go. It isn't like bra and then like weird fleshy form things poking out of like a t-shirt. So generally full coverage. Sizing, yeah, I don't really understand. So I mean, it's like like the number is the circumference is the band size, and then the letter or letters are the cup size. I think with the forms I got are, I mean, they were sized from 1 to 5, which means nothing. But I have, I guess I'm like 36 around, and like, am I a C? I think I'm a C, 36C. I would look, but I can't be bothered right now. How do you select a bra? Yeah, so like full coverage, a size that seems like it works, and I don't know, one that looks nice. I don't know. Band size, I guess, is important because I've definitely had bras, which I've worn anyway. But sometimes if I wear them a little bit too much, I've got like blisters, like right here where the where the wire is, and then I think I have like little scars now where it kind of like scarring mark things. Weird, hurts. Get a bra that fits. .com. I don't know. Question 3. Any advice on shapewear and creating a feminine figure? Kind of. I mean, I used to try and, oh god, itchy. Damn it. What was I saying? Okay. I used to wear like a little kind of like corset thingy. I guess it was just shapewear. It was like a corset, but like it sucked stuff in a little bit. But I don't really like the way it kind of, you can see like the it wasn't really brocade, but the texture of it, like underneath whatever I was wearing, it was just kind of restrictive. So in general, I don't really do shapewear. I wear tights. What do you call them here? Pantyhose? It's weird. Weird. I don't even know if you can hear that. I guess I'll find out later on. But yeah, pantyhose, which tends to like keep stuff a little bit in for the most part. Creating a feminine figure. So I have like a tiny waist, but I definitely, like most of us, I think, my fat distribution isn't great, so it all goes to my big fat dad belly. So what I tend to do, for the most part, is find stuff that's like kind of A-line, like this. So it's like waist, I guess, and then boom. So it kind of like hides the fact that I don't have any hips, because I don't. And then maybe there are, I mean, it's just, it's kind of like you're trying to create this shape without actually having a shape, right? So yeah, like definitely like more A-line skirts and dresses help a lot. Just basically for the most part all I wear. And I guess that's it. I didn't have this one dress which is like it's a little bit tight around the waist, and then like it's not strictly A-line, but it like I guess it's built for like women who do have hips. So it looks like I have hips, even though I don't. And it definitely gives the illusion that I do, which totally works. Any question 4. Any tips for explaining to friends slash family? I guess I've written about this a lot. Oop, drop a thing. Yeah. Playing with a piece of wire because I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I've written about this a lot. So when you know my wife and I got involved, like we'd been friends for a while, so she'd known that was a thing. So it was never like a big deal with most people in my life, I guess. I mean, maybe I've just been like incredibly lucky. I mean that like I came out when I did on Facebook to everyone. I was just like, hey, here's a picture of me. Go nuts. And I said, if you have any questions, let me know. And all the questions, silly questions, which I kind of appreciated, because like, oh, no one cares. Even though I was terrified everyone would hate me for about 17,000 years. But they didn't. In fact, one person apologized for being mean to me one time at a point where I didn't remember. So that was nice. Sympathy, P? I don't know what that is. Guilt. Play on guilt. But really, I don't know. I mean, everyone's situation is very different, right? I came out in like little bits and pieces. Like we had like a fancy dress party. What do you call them? Costume parties at work, where there was like a theme. It was like circus freak. So I was like, oh well, I could totally come as a bearded lady. This is gonna be great. And I kind of made that like classic mistake where I was a little bit too good. I thought, and again, I was trying not to be good. I mean, like, I picked a good outfit. If I can figure out how to use iMovie, I'll post it right here. That may or may not have worked. I don't know. But it was like, yeah, bearded lady. I had these, like, absurd, like, knee-high PVC boots that I bought, like, I don't know, 20 years ago. 20 years ago? No, I would have been 13. That doesn't make any sense. 15. Let's say 17 years ago. No, that makes less sense. 12 years ago. Yeah. And like, these black and white stripy tights, and then there's like, I think it was like a red velvet skirt, I think. It may not have been velvet, but like, and then like, you know what? If I posted a picture up here, you can already see it. And so, there were a lot of questions about, I mean, people joked like, oh, maybe, don't it a secret. And I was like, maybe I did. So, and I continued to like, I did it, for that costume party, and then for the next one, I did it again, different outfit, but still like this like kind of flapper dress with a terrible wig, made my head look giant. Who knows? And I think people got this idea that like, oh, that's a thing that I do. And then there was this one day, I feel like I'm not answering the question, which was like, any tips? And I'm just telling you what I did. But there was this one day where I took a picture of myself, and I really liked it. And I was kind of upset. I was like, why can't I show people this photo that I really like? Look at the camera, like that. And then, I talked to my wife a little bit, and was like, all right, I'm just going to post it. And I did, and, the reaction was like, oh, well, we don't really care. And so, next thing you know, I'm, like, posting more photos and, like, somehow building up the bravery to go to work dressed, which I still do every now and then, not so much last year because of laziness. But yeah, tips, I don't really know. I mean, I've been extremely lucky. In general, I mean, if you're going to get involved with a person, be upfront about it. I think honesty is almost certainly the best option. You know, I mean, hinting at it is always good. You know, don't like, you know, come home one day and be like, "Yo, look what I'm wearing," because surprise isn't necessarily the best option, I think. But you know, maybe like sitting down and talking to someone. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, every person is different. Every situation is different. Um, Birdie voice. Yeah, every situation is different, so it's hard to give like tips when I won't necessarily know. Like, you know, the people who you're going to be coming out to or whatever. Be honest. Show on my blog. If I can't figure out a movie, I'm just going to be making random hand gestures for the next 20 minutes. In my blog, I talk a little bit about maybe some strategies, but again, everyone's going to be different. So, like, it's okay to be scared. I think we're all kind of scared all of the time to some extent. I mean, I'm still terrified every time I go out dressed. I've only had that one bad interaction, but otherwise, it's been great. But it's okay to be scared. Just definitely be careful about the people you tell. You know, try and feel them out a little bit first. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I should have put more thought into the whole structure of this thing, but maybe it'll all work in editing. Question number 3, 4, 5. Do you have any advice on starting to go outside? Yeah. Baby steps. I mean, that's basically it. Baby steps. The first time, I don't really remember the first time. You know, I always went out in little bits. Like, what are the boundaries that I can push? Like, can I, you know, just look like a guy but wear heels, small heels, even if they're like ballet flats, which I did at least once to Costco. No one said anything, but it was terrifying. Ridiculous. Maybe like try out like a little bit of makeup. Going out in the dark, great, because you can just like go around the block once and then go home. But yeah, really, it's about accepting the fact you're going to be scared, because it is scary. Even for me, who's been out a lot, who's gone to work dressed, who's gone shopping dressed, which is much more terrifying than I feel like it should be. Every time I leave the house, I'm always a little bit scared. But every time I do it, it gets less terrifying, unless I don't do it for a long time, in which case I have to like be brave again. Because the last time we had like a Christmas party at work, where I was like, I just got out of surgery for like a little small surgery thing. I was like, no, I refuse to not go dressed up, because last year I didn't. So this year I'm desperate to. Not really desperate to, but I'd be damned if I'm not. So I did, but like on the way to the train station, I was like, shit, someone's gonna kill me. No one killed me. As it turns out, still alive. But it was scary. And I'd done that walk, a bunch of times before, at the same time of day, with people around. And while it's always scary, like because I hadn't done it for a while, it felt like everything was new and terrifying again. So yeah, what did I? I mean, I guess I set myself, back when I was, I guess, taking it a bit more seriously. I would do stuff like, I'm going to wear a skirt and I'm going to take the trash out in the dark. Oh, no one killed me. Or I'm going to take the trash out wearing heels during the day. No one killed me. It's important to remember that most people just don't care. They're not paying any attention to you whatsoever. People are too preoccupied with their own bullshit, that they're not going to worry about your bullshit. For the most part, you're the only person who cares. People do look. Absolutely, people look. And I can't fault them for that. I get it. We're still kind of a novelty. As much as like trans stuff has come over the last few years, we're still like, oh look, there's something that I haven't seen very much, and I'm guilty of it as well. Like I still remember the first time I saw a trans person in real life. I just remember thinking like, well, look at that. That's awesome. Um, yeah, I still remember that very vividly. I should talk about that one day. Um, but like then, I was like very conscious of staring. I was like, oh, but I want to look. I want to see what they're doing. I want to see how they do all this. But I can't look. Don't look. Don't look. And so like I get people looking. Um, I've had people looking. It's not too bad. I mean, it's you get used to it. You're like, oh, whatever. What are you gonna do? Um, I've had like a couple of people whistle. I don't know whether or not they knew that I was male or not. Maybe I just look really good. um, or maybe they were like, oh, look at this dude in the dress. I'm going to whistle. I cannot whistle. Yeah, I mean, this is what I do. I ramble. Bad at this. It's more structure next time. I mean, okay, you have to kind of be prepared for people to react in some way. It's important to try and, like feel out the area, like, just kind of like be aware of your surroundings. Don't do anything silly, like going for a walk in a place you've never been, in the dark, like through sketchy neighborhoods. Like always be smart, but don't. But try to accept the fact that it's scary. You will be scared. The fear, at least for me, has never gone away. It's okay to be scared. But baby steps will build your confidence. I think that makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Question 6. And probably the final question, because I'm already at 20 minutes of material. Who knows how long this will be when I cut it. How difficult is it to pick an outfit to wear? It's insane. It's basically insane. It's I have like I have a rotation. I have so many clothes, but I still have this like very basic rotation of things that I wear all the time. I feel like the majority when I do get dressed in the morning to go to work, the majority of my time is spent figuring out new outfits I can wear. But because like the shoes don't go, or I haven't broken those shoes in yet and I can't wear them, otherwise I'll be in pain all day, so I have to change the skirt, which means changing the top or wearing a dress or with different tights. It's madness. It's this insane game of like, I want to wear this, but I don't have the tights because I ripped them, so I have to wear different tights, but those pattern tights don't go with the kind of pattern dress I'm wearing. So I have to change one of the two, and I've got pattern tights, so I have to change the dress. Maybe I can change the dress to be like a top and like a skirt, but then I don't have any shoes to go with that. So it's just a mess. It's stressful, especially because like I try and plan. Like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna dress up tomorrow. Here's what I'm gonna wear, and then I put it on. I'm like, no, this is all wrong. So that's probably what takes the most time in the morning. How difficult is it? It's insane. It's insane. And I guess that's it. Like I said, I don't really have a plan for this. Yeah. Although, kind of fun. If you have more questions, stick them in the comments below, or email me here. Check me out on Facebook. Bling. Or go to my website. I hope I can figure out iMovie.